Good evening.
Okay, so you are the first person to join the call again this week. Well done.
Thank you.
Okay, so while we are waiting for others, I really don't know what's delaying. This 8 minutes past 6. So while we are waiting for others, let's just discuss and let's know how far we've been going with DataCamp. So Clinton, I'll give you the honors to go first. Let's hear from you. How far have you been?
Hello, good evening. Can you hear me?
Okay, yes, we can hear you now.
All right. First off, I want to really appreciate the community Africa for the privilege to be part of this program. Like I mentioned previously, I had the opportunity to have access to DataCamp. I think that was 2024, where I was able to complete the tracks in data analysis with SQL and Python, and I know how much that has impacted my life because I use data analysis in my day-to-day function at the office, even though not heavily, but that really helped me to be efficient and more productive in my workplace. So I'm very, very grateful for the opportunity to progress into data engineering. So far, I've learned a lot. I remember some of us were not able to get assignments about last week, so we're assigned and given deadlines for tomorrow. So I've made progress. I even went as far as enrolling into the Python data engineering with Python earlier this week to also see what is going on there and do one or two learnings. And so I've been practicing apart from DataCamp. I've been watching YouTube videos, looking at data engineering projects that I can actually start and practicalize. So it's just been a very overwhelming and exciting journey, learning, and it has been really challenging. I won't lie. Let me be very sincere because I work a 9 to 5 job. I'm also doing my master's, and apart from that, I'm also writing a professional examination for ICANN, CIBN, and others. So I have to, knowing the importance of this program, I have to create time. Sometimes I go to work as early as 6, 7 in the morning, come back 8, 9 at night, sleep, wake up as early as 3, 4 to start going through my data camp assignments and going through the courses. But it has really challenged me and helped me to be more diligent and effectively manage my time. I make sure every minute counts for me. I reduce my social media, how will I put it? Social media addiction. Just thank you so much. Thank you so much. I think I should let me just stop there for now. I'll be able to give more speeches after I complete the program. Thank you so much.
All right, well done. That's a really nice one, and that one shows your commitment, at least to the program and to other things that you're running concurrently. Well done, and keep it up. Continue. Thanks and well done for the dedication. So I also want to ask, since you've completed the first part, which we are still going through right now, that's the associate data engineer, have you attempted the certification?
I didn't get you. Can you? My network is not unstable. Can you ask the question
Okay.
again?
I asked, I said, since you have completed the associate data engineer in SQL and right now you're handling Python, have you attempted the certification for the associate track?
No, no, I've not.
Okay, is there a particular reason?
Not really. I was hoping to finish Python until before I do the certification. Or do I have to do the certification before I launch into Python?
Okay, so that's fine. It's not a bad idea, but the Python own is also a combination of SQL and Python. But this for the associate data engineer, which is the first one, is strictly SQL. So I think since you've completed it and you have like Python knowledge and the rest of that, I think it's appropriate that you attempt the certification now, because the thing with the certification is this: if you attempt it, is actually two parts, and first part is the objective and the other part is the theory part of it, where you get to write codes just like you do in the DataCamp projects. So this first one now is just purely SQL. Since you've completed the track, I think it's actually best you attempt it now, because if you do and peradventure you do not get it, you still have like 1 month to try again, and that 1 month you still have the scholarship, you still have access to the platform to try as many times as possible until you get it, rather than waiting till you complete the Python one. I believe you
I,
can do that of SQL right now without completing the Python track.
okay, then I'll do that this week.
All right, we are waiting for your certificate, so we'll send in our congratulations again. All right, thank you very much, Clinton. So who's Ayegbeni? Let's hear from you. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can, loud and clear.
Okay. So same with Clinton. I just want to say thank you for the opportunity. So just briefly, I've completed the associate data track. I think last month. I've also completed the certification. So I'm currently on the data scientist in Python track. I think I've completed about 7 courses. That one is taking, I think, more time than I expected because I've been engaged in other things, but hopefully by this month I should be done with that too. So that's majorly what I've been up to.
Okay, this is also a good one, and congratulations. I mean, you have really done well so far. So you're telling us now that you are certified at least in associate data
Yeah, I
engineering,
should
and
say. Yes.
congratulations. How was
Thank you.
the certification? How was the exam? Should I call it exam? How was it? Explain to
Yeah.
us. Let's hear.
Yeah. I will not lie, it wasn't what I expected. It was kind of different from the content itself. There's this course that I should have searched online, data manipulation in SQL. So the certification was majorly the objective was about manipulation, data manipulation that wasn't contained in the course. So I had to, after doing the certification, I just had to take that course again before doing the Python track. So that was like one of the reasons why I haven't completed the Python track yet.
Okay, that's actually amazing. And now, the thing is here, if you're following our assignments, you'll see that from the assignments, I think we should have exhausted the courses on the track itself. But aside that, we also added this data manipulation in SQL and some other courses, because we also noticed this same thing you just spoke about, that
Yeah.
if you come to the examination, it doesn't actually cover everything that is written, all the courses that is on the track. So there are some additional courses that you need to, that if you do not have prior knowledge of them before attempting the certification, you would actually find it difficult. So
Yeah,
that's
it's
why
very,
we
very
actually added these courses, so that after the courses, everybody can go in for the certification and you won't find it that difficult. At least it will be things that you have actually completed the courses. So well done, and congratulations. Same thing with
Thank you.
that of Python. So the same thing is still basic, just is actually a combination of SQL and Python. So you also need to understand manipulation again in Python, using Python. So well done and congratulations. At least
Thank you.
we have one certified, and Clinton is going to start his this week, right, Clinton?
Yes, so we should this week by God's grace.
Okay, thank you. That's fine. Well done. So thank you, guys. Let's see, Lookman, let's hear from you. How far? How have you been progressing? What's been happening?
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Your volume is your faint. It's not too clear. Hello, are you there? Lookman.
Yes, I am. Let me switch from my AirPods. Just a moment.
Okay.
Okay, can you hear me now? Sorry, I'm in a noisy.
Oh, that's better. Okay, this is better.
All right. So, in my own case, I started with with fire, but somehow I slowed down in the last week or so. I'll say between the festive period and now, I got too engaged that I wasn't moving at the pace that I wanted to. As for the certification exam, I have not attempted it because there are some courses that I wanted to complete before attempting it. Yeah. So, but I'm looking to attempt it before the end of this coming week for the associate data engineering certification exam. So for now, I don't have an update on taking the exam because I have not attempted it yet.
Okay, that's fine. But for the courses itself, are you up to date? Have you passed those? You know the stage we are right now in our courses. Have you completed at least the associate data engineering SQL track?
No, I've not completed, especially the last part that were added to our learning track. But the previous ones I completed, but the one that were added, that is last week's own, I have not completed those.
Okay, no problem. Well done. As long as you're staying consistent and you're still learning, that's what counts, rather than abandoning it entirely. So
Yeah,
as long as you're still on track, that's fine. And well done, please.
thank you very much.
Okay, let's hear from let me see. Rosemary. Good evening, Rosemary. Let's hear from you, please. How have you been, and how have you been progressing on DataCamp?
Um, Good evening, everyone. I hope you guys are good. With me, um, I think I've been learning. Everything has been good. I've been on track. I've been completing my assignment on track. But the thing is, I think I'm not doing enough. It's just a lot of things to do. Considering the fact that I also go to work from 9 to 5, and when I come back to work, I'm exhausted, so I have to sacrifice 2 hours for me to do the courses. But other than that, I'm doing okay. I'm doing fine. I could do better, you know. But yeah, I'm completing my assignment and I'm meeting the 3000 XP experience. I'm doing whatever that I can. I can do enough. I can do more, but because of time constraints, yeah, I'm not. But right now, I've been doing the Snowflake SQL data manipulation with Snowflake, something related to that. I'm not yet done with it, but yeah, I'm on track. This is what I can say.
All right. Thank you for sharing that with us. The most important thing, the important thing is, as long as you're consistent, that's that is the main thing that we know that would help us move forward. As long as you stay consistent and try your possible best not to abandon the learning on DataCamp. Stay consistent, and slowly and surely will definitely get the best out of DataCamp platform. And like Ayek Beni shared, he said he has. Can you hear me? Okay, thank you. So like Ayik Beni shared, he said he has completed the track for data and right now is on his own data center, I believe. Of equal importance, that of importance to you. So it's not that you have to earn a job there and going according to the courses on each track. When you're done with one, you can move to the other and move. So you can be ahead of the class, and at the end you finish even before we get to the last part, which is the data engineering in Python. You can finish before us and start studying other areas of interest for you, if it's data science, if it's ML, if it's going deeper into Python and or SQL, because there are so many other courses on DataCamp that are actually not in the courses that we'll be taking. So you could you could, as long as you're consistent, just continue and ensure that you finish before us and attempt other courses, so that as you're leaving DataCamp after these 6 months, you're not just living with the knowledge of just the strict courses as written on DataCamp, but you're having, oh gosh, hold on, but you're having like an all-encompassing knowledge on certain SQL and Python, which we are focusing on right now. So thank you all for that. I would have really loved to hear from everyone, but it's 6:30, almost 6:30. So we're just going to begin with. Please hold on. Sorry for that. So we're just going to go into what we have for today. Share this. So let me ask, is anybody joining us on his or her PC? Just see how we move today. Raise your hand if you're joining on your PC, because we'll likely take over the class. All right, that's fine.
What
So,
did you ask?
yeah,
What
Steve,
did you
I can
ask?
hear you.
Yeah, what
I
did you
was
ask? You were
asking if
asking a
anyone
question.
is joining on his or her PC.
Okay, you want to use a PC for something? Hello, can you hear me?
I asked if anyone is joining from his or her PC.
Yes. I'm asking if you want to make use of it so that I can join from my PC if that's the case.
No,
Okay, let me leave a
I
chat.
want not you actually, Steve.
Okay, no problem.
Stop calling me now. Did you hear me?
Yes, I did.
Okay, no, not you actually. I needed someone else to run this so that it will be more interactive for the learners, not you. But it's fine. I think we can still work with this. So today we are going to look at mainly data manipulation in SQL. So from our previous sessions, let me join from here. Previous sessions, we have So in our previous sessions, we have looked at SQL joins. We have also seen aggregate functions. Last week, we looked at database design, also data definition language, how to create tables, insert values into tables, and other things. So today we're going to continue from that, and we'll be looking at some of the SQL functions and keywords that we've looked at so far, and the ones that has been covered in the courses. We are going to see how to use these keywords to manipulate data. We're also going to see how we're going to move from just using them as keywords we use for say analysis to implementing them in our data pipelines. Now, as we all know, oh gosh, please hold on. Sorry, I've been getting some. Sorry about the break, please. So, as we all know, the basic function of a data engineer is okay. Can someone just tell me, like, what's the basic function of a data engineer?
I think a data engineer's primary job is to provide clean and quality data for downstream use.
Please, Oluwa Bukomi, could you please repeat yourself? I didn't get it clearly.
I said that the primary function of a data engineer is to provide clean and quality data for downstream use cases like data analytics, machine learning, and the like.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, did you get that?
That's fun. Yes, I did. To provide clean and quality data for downstream analytics and machine learning, right? Yes, that's what you said. So thank you, that's fine. Can someone else tell us? It's basically the same. Can we also hear from somebody else? Let's know your own. Someone is raising. Okay, Anthony. Anthony, let's hear from you, please.
Okay, so for data engineers, they design data pipeline and optimize the data to be used for data machine learning or analysis by the data scientist.
Could you please speak? I didn't get you clearly.
Okay, so the data engineer, he or she designs the data pipeline to be used by the data scientist. Like the functions, some of the functions are optimizing the query and preparing the data so that it remove all the redundancies and filtering it so that the outcome of their prediction work that the machine learning engineer or the data scientist will use it will give them accurate results.
Okay, so that's fine. That's also correct. The function of a data engineer is to create pipelines for use by analysts and machine learning engineers. That's correct also. Does any other person have anything to add? Anyone? Okay, so since no one has any other thing to add, they've actually given us the basic function of a data engineer, just to create good pipelines for good quality data that will be used downstream by either the analysts, the machine learning experts, or for any use case that it's been needed for. Now, as a data engineer, your function is just to get data from point A to point B. But in between moving the data from A to B, there are so many things that you actually need to consider. Yes, it is just movement of data, but there are so many things that you need to consider while moving that data from point A to point B. So today we're going to see how some SQL functions, keywords, some of which we have already seen, and some that might be introduced to us today. We're going to see how we use them to work on to create data pipelines. So today we'll be going from raw data to usable, clean, let's say complete data sets that can be used for analytics by the analysts or ML experts. So some of the things we'll be looking at today is we'll just briefly talk about CTEs. We'll talk about subqueries, using the case statements, Windows functions. Then we'll see the implementation of all of these in using a data set that I'll share soon. So let's start. Starting from a subquery. Can someone like explain to us what a subquery really is in SQL?
I think a subquery is just a query that is meant to be used for, within another query. So it will be evaluated first before it is being used in the other query.
Okay, thank you very much, Femi. That's just basically what a subquery is. It's a nested query inside another query, and it will be executed before the main query itself. So that defines a subquery. There are some times we would want to write some functions or want to write some queries, and you see that writing just one query would not give you exactly the result you want. You would need to write a query first of all, then you you write an external query that will query the first one that you have written for you to get the answer, the exact answer of what you want, the exact result that you want. So then in situations like that, we can use subqueries or nested queries. That's a query inside another query. Then what about CTEs? Can someone help us out? What is a CTE?
Well, if I have to define it with the usage, I would just say that it is just like a temporary query that you have written to be used later on. Like it will function like a table on its own, unlike nested, unlike subquery. So it will be named and be referenced later on in your query.
Okay, that's also correct. A CTE is still multiple queries. You can call it multiple queries, but this time around, it's not written inside a query. It's written as a query on its own, then referenced by another query. This time around, you're not writing it inside the query. That's the case of subqueries. But you're writing it as a query independent on its own, and then it's called in another query. It's referenced in another query. And it starts with the with keyword, followed by the query name and all of that and all of that. Then let's see. So let's talk of case statements. Can someone just give us what a case statement is all about?
Case statement is like if and else condition within SQL, like just to control the output based on certain conditions that have been satisfied.
Okay, thank you, Femi. Thank you very much, Femi, for that. So a statement is just how you can evaluate your data based on a given condition, based on a certain condition. So once the condition is met, something happens. If it's not met, something else happens. So a case statement helps us to evaluate our data based on certain conditions. Then finally, what's the last thing we're discussing today? Windows functions. So somebody else, please, not Femi, somebody else. I mean, we're about 6 here, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody else should tell us what they understand by Windows functions, because I believe at this point that we have, at least from most responses that we got today, uh, most persons that responded today, they have passed this stage. So I want to believe that a great percentage of us here, we have completed this course, the assignments for this week. So somebody else should tell us what they kind of understand by Windows functions.
So Windows function calculates does calculations across a set of rows, unlike group by, where group by just groups the columns and all. For instance, let me say the rank window functions, they calculate, you are basically keeping all the rows, not grouping by a set of columns. That's what I understand by window functions.
Okay, thank you. That's fine. That's also correct. So Windows functions help us to calculate or helps us to make calculations over a group of data without using the group by. That's basically without using the group by, we can use Windows functions to calculate, to group our data and make certain calculations for ranking, whatever it is that we want to use to group our data. So Windows functions enables us to do that. Now, the key thing with Windows function is once you see the over clause there, you will know it's a Windows function. Additionally, we can use all aggregate functions as Windows functions. But once you see a function that has the over clause, just know that that is serving as a Windows function in that statement and not as the regular aggregate function that we know it as. So I'm trying to connect my PC. Give me a minute, please. Let me concentrate and do this. So use on. Okay, so I believe I've been able to connect this. Let me see. Let me share this thing again. Okay, so thank you for your patience. So today we're going to look at how we can use subqueries, CTEs, some Windows functions, and other functions in SQL to move data in our pipeline, to transform data actually, and to move it from one table to another table. Now, last week we looked at inserting data. Last week we looked at inserting data directly into our table using the insert values. But today we're going to look at moving from one table to another table. Now we're going to use, can you all see my screen? How is this? Yes. Can you hear me, first of all?
Oh God, I can't see your screen. Or is it my phone?
Okay, I just noticed that I has disconnected, so let me try and reconnect. Sorry, please. Let me come back in. So I believe you can right now.
Yes, we can see your screen. Oh, I can see
Okay,
your
so
screen.
all right, thank you. So there's a data set that we will use. Let me see. Oh, I've not uploaded. Let me upload the data sets. Data source should be CSV. Okay, so this is the data set that we're just going to use to work on all of this evening. Now, this data set has just 3 rows, and let me remove this limit so it doesn't. So get everything. So it has just 3 rows: name, gender, and country. And then there are how many? Sorry, 3 columns: name, gender, and country. Then 39 rows. 39 rows. So we are going to work with this data set and see how we can use the functions that we have been looking at previously to move this data, to make this like a better and a more presentable data set that can be used for analysis or machine learning. That at least let's put this data set in its proper way. So we are going to do this together, and I'll ask some persons to actually assist me in doing this. So if I call on you, don't hesitate, just give it to us. If you do not understand, it's fine. We're all learning and we're learning together. So now this data set has the name, gender, and the country. Now, first of all, when we are faced with data sets like this, what do we like? Let me know. What's the first thing that comes to our mind, and what do you think that we should do first when faced with a data set like this? Can anyone answer?
I think the first step is to clean it.
Is to do what?
Is to clean the data set.
Sorry, I didn't hear you clearly.
I said the first step is to clean, to do some data
Okay,
cleaning.
yes. All right. Thank you. So the first stage we have to do is to do some cleaning. Now, looking at this, just looking at this data set now, what sort of cleaning do you all think we can do to this data set to put it in a proper and a better way? There is no wrong answer. So anything that comes to mind, let's hear, so we know how we are moving forward with this data set. So now looking at it, anyone can respond. What sort of cleaning do you think that we can do to this data set to put it in a better way for analysis?
I think the first thing I am going to do is to, if it is available, I think we will need the data dictionary for this particular data so that we know what sort of cleanings to do to make it consistent with what is being expected from the organization or the client. But cases that we can spot here is the gender. Entries in the genders are not consistent. So in that case, we are going to find a way to standardize it to something that will be consistent. So I can see M. I think that should be representing a male. Then I can see male too in full and stuff like that.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Femi. So first of all, you're saying we're going to look for a data dictionary. Now, as it is, the data dictionary is not available. So we're just working with what we have and what we're seeing on the screen at the moment. Why is my network? Let me see. Okay, so while I reconnect uh my PC, let's see. So after checking for inconsistent gender, anyone that still remembers what the data set looks like can tell us what else do you think we can do to cleanse the data? What cleaning can we do? Is no one trying? Okay, so that's the data set. Can someone else try? What else do we do when you encounter like a data set like this? What are the first things that comes to your mind? Rosemary, are you trying to speak? Okay. So now that person is responding. All right, that's fine. Fine. So looking at the data set, first of all, first thing we need to check for, now just looking at it, you already know that the gender column is inconsistent. That's number one. With our eyes like this, looking at it, we know that the gender column is inconsistent, and we need to work on that. Then we also need to look at if there are say duplicates in the data set, because thinking of data duplicates, it's most times it's not something you can see when you just get like a summary of your data. You will have to check for duplicates. Then you also have to check for null values. These are like the key things that we need to do and to confirm anytime we're working with any data set. Because at the end of the day, if you run a pipeline and you have a data set that is filled with nulls, filled with duplicates, yes, it might give results, but we know that at the end of it all, that is definitely bad data. And it would not give results that is representative actually of the data itself. So when working with data sets, we need to first of all look at duplicate values, look at null values. Then we will now come to the individual columns and then check the columns using, of course, the data types, because the type of cleaning you can do on a column depends on the data type of that column, depends on the column's data type. Now, looking at what we have, we can see that all our columns are actually of one type, which is of string. Now, assuming we had additional columns like date or amount, these are different data types, and the cleaning that we will have to do on those data types, is not the same with what we are going to do on a string data type. So from our sorry. Clinton, you raised your hand. Let's
Sorry, Ogojuku. I want to please beg Mr. Steve, just as he did before, to please help us record the class, please. Thank you.
The class is being recorded right now.
Okay, thank you, sir.
All right. So the cleaning that you do on each column depends, like I was saying, on the data type of that column. Now, the cleaning you do on a string is different from what you do on a data type that is an integer or a decimal, numeric, or a date. They are all different data types, so you're going to do different forms of cleaning. But today, our columns are all strings. So depending on what we want to achieve, most of the functions and keywords we use might be actually the same thing, but we'll work on and we'll see the various differences. So first of all, I believe we are going to first of all check for null values. If our data set has null values. Now, for us to do that, bear in mind that today we are basically focusing on CTEs, subqueries, Windows functions, and using case statements, then other keywords that would help us to clean a string column. So we are going to be working with these things basically, and in our cleaning we'll see how to incorporate some of these things, either a CTE, subqueries, and the rest of them in our cleaning. So now we're going to see how to check first of all for nulls. Now to check for nulls. To check for nulls, can someone like give us an idea of how we can check for nulls in using these data sets? I want to hide this. This is not good. Okay, so no one is speaking. All right.
Yeah, I think. Can I go?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I think we should do it column by column, like check nulls from each column. I don't know if that's proper. So yeah, to check for null, we would write our code, select everything from people's .csv. Or is that the name of the table?
Yes, people. Okay, we can use df now since it's already here, so we can use this as df. We can select from df. So we are selecting everything.
Where the first, I forgot the name of the first column. Sorry, I can't see your screen anymore. I don't know if it's just me.
Yeah, I can still see it.
I can.
See it. Maybe it's my network.
Connected. Can you
Okay,
see it?
yeah, I can see it. Yeah, I can see it now.
Let me bring all this. Okay. So we have name, gender, and country.
So select everything from
so we've selected that. We are using df now.
Okay.
Where name is null, or gender is null, or country is null. So I think I just start with where name is null. Yeah, then on another line, we can also do, I think, or gender is null. Then our country is null.
Okay. So we can run. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Your query ran successfully, but no results. So that's telling us that we do not have a null value in any of the columns. So we can use this. This is correct. It gives us what we want. But I just want to say that since we are focusing on CTEs, case statements, and the rest of them, we can actually do this in form of a case statement. We can use a case statement to check for nulls in each of our columns. I'm just going to do that. So I'll do that straight away. Now, what we're going to do is, in each column, we're going to write a case statement that checks if the main thing here is null. So it checks if that column is null, and if it is, it will mark null. It will mark 1. But if it is not null, it gives that column a value of 0. So if any record in the column is null, it marks it, it replaces that null value with number 1. But if it is not null, it replaces the value with number 0. So we're going to write that case statement for all the columns that we have. And at the end, we are going to get the total null values that we have in each column. So to write that, the case statement, we're just going to start with the case statement first of all. Since we are handling 3 columns, so we are saying case. Now this is the syntax of a case statement. Case first of all, then when a certain condition. Now the condition we want to check is that if the name value, we are starting with the name column first of all. We are checking if the name column is null. So when name is null, the next keyword that follows is a then. Then what do we do? Then add 1. Else, if it is not null, just give us a value of 0. Then we end. So we're going to do this for the 3 columns. I'll just copy this. Paste. So we're doing this for gender. And we're doing this for country. Now, at the end of it, after giving each null column a 1, we need to calculate everything. We need to get the sum so that we know at the end of each column, each calculation, how many rows in a certain column actually has null values. Now, at the end of using this case statement in the name column, we need to check how many rows in name column has a null value. Now, to help us do that, we are going to include the sum aggregate function. Now, remember that sum simply has this as its syntax. Sum and then the column. Sum and the column name. So what we're going to do is, instead of writing a certain column, instead of giving just one the name column we are going to work on, we will just put this case statement inside sum. Now with this, it is now going to calculate every place 1 is found in the name column. So when the case statement is done, the sum aggregate function now calculates every place we get to see 1 in the name column, and it gives us at the end the total number of null values that we have in that name column. So we will do the same for the gender. Put it in a sum aggregate function. Do same for country, so that at the end we will get the total for all of them. Now we're going to name this an alias. Let's say as name null. We do same for gender, and we do same for country. So then we get select statements. So we're selecting. So this is what we're selecting. Just start to know what we're doing. And then we're selecting from DF, from the data set. So we run this and let's see what we have. Okay, so at the end we can see that each column returned is 0. So this tells us that we do not have a null value in any of the columns. So next, let's see how we can get duplicates. Let's check for duplicates on this. I'm going to just close this so we so next we are going to check for duplicates. This will be more straightforward. So can anyone help us out? How do we check for duplicates?
One of the one approach that I will take if I want to check for duplicates is number one, I will just do canster, select canster to check the total number of all the record we have. Then I will now check again, select count distance star, like to check the total number of everything.
Another one.
No. The first one will tell us the total record we have in the data.
Okay.
And start from DF1 now. Is it okay? No, DF, sorry, DF.
Should I run it?
Yes, we can run it. We have
39.
we have 39 records.
Yes.
So the next one will now be select distance star from DF. So this distance star now, I think we are going to wrap it inside counter just to count. If I can still remember.
Distance, we should wrap it inside count.
Yes, I think so.
Okay. We can run it, right?
Yeah, let's try it. We have an error obviously. I can't remember the syntax.
So what if we do okay, the unique record is the name, right? So we can just group by the name, select name, count star, then group by the name, where name is where count is greater than 1 or something like that.
So you're saying select name?
Yeah, select name, comma,
Okay.
count
From
as
this?
count. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so group by name. Then we can do, I think we can run in now, but we can also do having counts star greater than 1.
Are we running this?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. So
I think just to improve on what he said, yeah, I think I love his approach. Since we already know that we have 3 columns here, let's just group by the 3 columns, then check the cancer. If we have something greater than one, definitely they are duplicate.
okay, gender and country.
Yes.
Okay, so this works. This is fine. So I have a question. Why are we using have in here and not where? Because I know the one we are very, very familiar with is making use of the where clause. So why are we using having in place of where here?
Having goes for group by operations, while where goes for the select query.
Sorry?
I said having works with
Okay.
group by on a group by operations. Why select? I mean, where work with select.
Okay. So all right, thank you. Does anyone else want to try again?
Yeah, so where filters the rows, that is before the grouping. But in this case, we've already grouped by 3 columns, so we have to use having.
Okay,
I think
that's
it's because
fine.
we can't
That's fair.
use having, we can't use where when we make use of an aggregate function in the select statement.
Sorry, I didn't. Please, I didn't.
Because we already have an aggregate function count, so we can't use where, not use having to filter.
All right. Thank you, Oluwaseun. That's exactly the reason. When we are using having here because we are grouping by an aggregate function, and that's why we can't use a where. If we use a where here, we are going to get an error. Let me see. Let me change it, and we are going to get an error. We don't use where and aggregate function whenever we are doing any form of aggregation on SQL. So if you're using any aggregate function, if you want to filter using an aggregate function, what we use is the where clause. What we use is having and not where. So thank you very much for that. So let's also take note of that. We use the having if we're working with an aggregate function for conditional filtering, while we use the where if we're just working with just the regular conditional filtering, like using the greater than, less than, and all of that. But when we want to make use of an aggregate function, we make use of having in place of where. So okay, since we've done this, let me not go back to read. So from the look of things, we now have no null and we have no duplicates. We have no null and we have no duplicates. So next we are going to look at each column in our data set. Now we must ensure that every column that is going through our pipeline is correct and it gives us exactly the correct column that we need, that the end user needs for analysis or whichever use case they need it for. Now, these are our data set. What we're going to do today, first of all, is let's see. Okay, let me see how we can move faster. First of all, we're going to check, yes, the gender is inconsistent. So we're going to check the gender to make sure that it is consistent and standardized, because we can't have M and male, then we have F and female in the same data set. So we're going to standardize our gender column. Then for the name, I want us to do something, which is to separate the first name and the last name. Then we'll also check our country column to see if there is anything that we need to clean in that country column. So let's see. I'm trying to be extra fast now. So let's start first of all with the gender column. So let's see. Cleaning gender column. So how do we do this? Who is helping us out? This is the gender column. We have different values here, and we want to make sure that it is consistent across our data sets. How do we do it?
Are we cleaning by querying it, or we are updating the entire data?
Sorry?
Like, are we going to clean it by querying it out, or we are going to update the entire data?
No, we are cleaning. What we want to achieve today is we see how we can clean the columns, then move it to another table.
Okay, okay.
So we are cleaning each column, ensuring that each column gives us exactly what it should be at the for the end users. So how do we start?
We are going to decide whether we are going to represent our gender by their initial, whether M or F, or in their full description, female or male. So I think we should just decide on that first, then we now
You
think
help
of.
us decide. You are deciding for us today. So which one do we go with?
Use the full description. So
Okay, so we're
wherever we
using male.
change it to male, wherever we have M, we should just change it to male.
All right. So let me write that. Now, how do we go about that?
So that will be select name, comma, then case when wait, before we even do that, I think we should be very sure of what we are doing. I think we should check the distinct in gender to know the possible categories we have. Perhaps there are some other inconsistencies apart from F and M.
Okay. So how are we going about that?
You can just comment that out first. Or I don't know. So let's say select distinct gender from DF. Okay. So we have mismatched in the capitalizations.
Okay.
So there are mismatch in the capitalizations too. So I think we know what we are going to do now.
Let me create another.
So select name, comma, case when, let's say lower, gender, open bracket, gender, equal to M,
Equal to.
wait, let's use in, let's open bracket. So F, I mean, okay, yeah, let's start with female, F, comma, then small letter female, then female, starting with capital letter. So we continue to another case statement. When, else when,
Else
lower.
when.
No, we are not putting else here too.
Okay.
When, gender, in, and open bracket, M, comma, male in small letter. Then male. Since we are checking two conditions, I think we should use else here and end the case. So instead of when we have there, we should just use. I think yes. Let's just no.
Else no.
Come on, wait. Let me see the. Okay, we have
Okay.
check all the condition for female. Wait. Else. Is there anything we can put in that else?
You can just put unknown now. Unknown
Else or
gender.
none.
All right, let's go with that suggestion. Else or no.
Okay.
Let's
May I add something?
We're
all right.
listening.
Hello.
Yes, Lukman, we're with you.
Okay. I noticed there's a distinct value of make if you look at the index 7.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
that's true.
I think we can add it to that first case, that gender of female.
Is that all?
No,
Are
we
we
need to end.
okay?
We need to end as let's see, maybe updated or gender updates or whatever.
Next, what are we doing?
Then let's select the country too.
So we can use the from, right?
Yeah, but I want to suggest something so that we can see the actual effect of what we did. I think we should just use this whole query as CTE so that we can query it later on.
Okay. So where do we go from here?
So let's just, yeah, with,
Just
let's say, let's say clean gender. Let's just call it clean gender. As, then we'll put it inside parentheses.
okay. So we're covering this one also.
Yes. So we can now
So where's the query?
select distinct.
Hmm?
Select distinct. Updated gender. From clean gender.
Are we good to run?
Clean gender. Yeah, let's try it.
Oh, oh gosh. Is this still on? It's like, okay. Okay. Oh, that's understandable. All right, Avis, can you see my screen?
No.
Oh gosh. Sorry, hold on, please. Is it? Oh, okay. So this is the result. Can we see it now?
We still have unknown.
I think
So
that's
this
from
is the
the
result.
Let's check the distinct that we checked earlier on.
The what?
The distinct that we checked before we start manipulating this.
Okay, this is the result of the distance.
Okay, the female, the male. There is an error in male.
So what do we think could be the problem?
We should just trim as we are. We should trim. I think is either there is an excess space around that. You know, we have two male, index 3 and index 5. So I think we should
Okay,
just put here. Yeah.
so
Yes.
Or is it possible that that L, one of them might be capital I?
I I don't think so. It doesn't look well. Who knows?
I think in fact
there's a
even
possibility.
one of the best things to do would have been to use this pattern matching.
I,
Like just maybe a percentage. So instead of stressing and looking at all the distinct this thing, Do you get that?
Yes,
Yeah,
I did.
I guess your
Okay.
point.
So how
And
do we
let's
go about it? But
see
the
what
thing is, are you
let's see what
speak?
the tree like first. Then now
Sorry,
use part that does not work.
Yeah, let's do this first.
Let's
should
see
I go
what the
ahead with the train?
yes,
Yes.
particularly on that mail part.
Any other thing?
Have you run it? Yeah, it is excess space.
Okay. So that is something we also have to note when working with string values. We can't see the extra space, but the compiler is seeing the extra spaces, and it's reading MALE different from MALE with one or two spaces. They're all different. So when working with string, I like I ensure that I don't even miss using the trim, because you can't see things you can't see would actually make some of your work incomplete or give us error in our codes when we know what we've actually written is correct. So these are just the little things we have to take note of when working with certain data types. Now, when you come to string, we have seen how trim can change the the result set of any of our queries. So now that we have worked on the gender, let's leave this as it is. Then let's go to the country. I'll work on the name sharp, like I'll be very fast when I work on the name column. But let's work on country column and see what we have there. So these are the country this is the country column. What kind of cleaning do we think that we can work on this? Let's see. So looking at the country column, what kind of cleaning do we think that we can do with the country column?
I think the only thing there is that USA is represented as country code instead of United States of America, and then I think that's what I'm saying there.
Okay, so
I,
that's changing.
I notice
Change.
is
Sorry, let me write this out. So just changing. That's USA to what? United States.
United States of America or United States. Yeah.
Okay, that's one. Any other thing? Or are we going
another
straight into it?
to do is what's it called? As you can see there, you can see that Italy is being repeated twice. So definitely something is wrong. So I think what we are supposed to do here is to group by, then count it, then we should look whether we have no, we should not even like we should check if we are having a a country that is wait, so I think that will not even solve the problem. Number one, the
Yeah,
country must
yeah, I actually think it's normal for Italy to be represented twice because it's like countries of individuals now, and it's not name. So it's normal for there to be different people from same country in the table.
Yeah,
You
you
get.
are right.
So are we just changing USA to United States?
Too. You are supposed to trim too. Italy, there is problem with Italy.
Okay, so what are we doing then? Let me see. What are we checking? What are we doing? Or do we go ahead with the select statements?
I think we should just go ahead.
Okay, so now thing is, before we go ahead, we need to first of all verify, like we did for the gender column. Let's get the distinct countries first of all to see if there is any repetition when we use the distinct keyword. Yes, we can get repetition in, there can be country repetition in the data set, but when we use the distinct, let us see if there is actually any repetition, so we know how to go about the cleaning, just like we did in the gender column. So before we change to USA, let's first of all check the distinct, and that's select this thing, country from there. Okay, okay, we can see the output, right?
Yes. I
Okay,
think there's a space issue with Ghana and Kenya.
okay, so
Please, can we order it by that country? Can we order it? So we have issue with Ghana. We have issue with Kenya. I think we have issue with Ghana and Kenya alone.
okay, so this means we have to do and if it's
We have,
like this, it's most likely a space issue again,
yes, the space issue.
because the
Obvious.
spellings are the same thing. So it's most likely a space issue. Now, so how do we go about cleaning that?
We apply the same strategy we used for the first one.
So I can just copy this, right? Then we edit it. Or do we start typing all over?
No, you can just, or maybe we should create column for that one too. The country, so that all the cleaning will just be at once.
Okay, hold on.
I don't know whether you get what I mean by that.
Okay, so what do we do? Let me delete this. So what do we
No,
do?
I didn't say you should delete that too.
Oh, sorry.
We just
Uh-huh.
continue. So instead of selecting country now, so we are going to use case for country too.
Where is it?
The last
Okay,
column that we
here.
see, yes. So that will just be
So
like
we're
another,
using case.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
When, in fact, don't let us. There's no need for case. Let's just trim country as clean country.
As what?
As just the updated country. Okay. So we now change the distance now and order it by that clean country. That will be select distance clean country. Order by Ghana, Italy, Kenya, Nigeria, South. I think we are good.
Okay. So someone mentioned that we should change USA to United States of America.
Yes, I think we
Eh,
should.
I don't think that is very necessary since it's a distinct value.
Okay, so we can leave this as it is. Is that what? We leaving this like this?
Yes.
I
I
say
think
leave it.
Okay. Thank you. So let's just remove this. So we can. Okay, then lastly, please, can I still do this name? Okay, so next we'll just hurriedly do the name, and let me see how we can get this done. So for that, now I'm just going to do this. Let's see, select name from okay, so this gives us the name. Now we want to split it to first name and last name. I'm going to run, I didn't open this. I'm going to run some things concurrently right now. Let me see. Okay. Let me just open this down. So now to do that, we are simply going to separate this. Like the first one, we're separating Moses as the first name and we're getting Phrase as the last name. So we're going to get two columns from this, and one the functions that can help us do that is we can use the substring function. Now we're using that because we do not know the exact position. Like the first names for everything, they are not of the same length. Now, assuming all first names have like a length of 4, we can simply use the left keyword, give it 4 number of characters to bring out, and it gives us the last name. But since we do not know the exact number of characters for the first name of all the names on our database, we can use the substring keyword, and that would extract a string from a starting point to an end point. So we are just going to give it the name of the string. That first is the name of the column. First is the name. Then the next argument is the starting position of the string. In our case, we want it to be 1, which is the first letter. Then the number of strings it's going to get. Now let's give it say 4. Okay, the first one is 5. Let's give it 5 and call it first name. Then we'll run this and see what it gives us. First name. Am I getting it? Okay, so why the first one is correct, the second one is not correct, the third is correct, this is correct, this is correct, but the fifth is not correct. And that means we can't put a certain number here. Now what we can do is we can use the space, since it has a uniform separator between the first and the last name, which is the space character. What we can do is we can find the position of the space character, then use -1 to get the position of the character before the space. Now what can help us do that is the position keyword in Postgres. Position. Yeah, okay. Now position takes again 2 arguments. First of all is the string that we want to get the position, then the name of the column that we want to work on. So we want to get the position of space. So we put this and space. Position in what column? In the name column as first name. So if we run this should give us, I think it should. Okay, yes. So we can see that this is correct, this is correct, and all others are correct. Then we can get the last name following the same thing that we did for the first name, which is using the substring. So I'll just simply copy this. Where is it? And paste. This time around, let's call this last name, and we are going to change the position of some of the arguments. Now, how we get that of last name is different. For the first name, the starting position is 1, which we know. But this time around, for the last name, the starting position is inconsistent in all the records in the row column. So what we're going to do again, just like we did, this should be -1. Okay. No time I would have shown this. So what we're going to do now we're going to get the position again of the space character. Then instead of adding -1, we're going to get +1, so that we'll get the first character following the space character. So what we will do here now will be, instead of 1, we are starting with this, which is the position of the space character in that string. Then we're adding +1 to give us the next character following the space. Then after that, we're going to use length. We are going to use length of string to give us, to get the last value of, to get the position of the last value in each of our columns. So we are going to use length of what? Name. Name is the column we're working on. So this should give us the first and last names separated. this should really work. It's okay. So we can see now that we have the first and last name separated from the name column. So what we can do next is the columns that we have cleaned, we are going to get the queries that we used to clean these columns and use them to form a different table. So in our select statement, we are going to put, we're going to put the queries that helped us clean the different columns. So first we are going to select, now instead of selecting name, we are going to select the first and last name. First and last name. Then after that, we are going for gender. Where did we clean the gender? Okay. So we're selecting this. Then lastly, we are going to select the country. Where is it? This is gender. Okay. And we are selecting all of this from there. So we can change this to gender and also put this as country. We run and let's see what we have. Okay, so from what we've done now, we have been able to clean. Let me hide all of this. So we have cleaned our table from this to what we now have. Now we have standardized gender column. We have created different columns, first name and last name from the name column, and we have also cleaned the country column, ensuring that we have standard countries and genders in the different columns. So this is what we now have. Now, next, what we're going to do is to insert it into another table, and we'll be using DB Fiddle for that. Let me see. I have written this previously. Sorry. Where did I put this? Okay, so where is it? Oh, okay. So I've previously created the table for this. the initial data set we used, I've created the table previously on DB So let's just, and I called it people table. So when we select, let's say select asterisks from PEOPLE. Let me see here. Let me run this and let's see. This is what I can. Let me see. What's that? What is this? Okay, so initially I've done this on DBFIDO. That's the table that we used at the starting point. So next, now after cleaning it, we're going to create a table and just do direct insert. And we'll do direct insert. We'll insert into the table that we have, that we will create. Now, the columns we are working with right now are, what are the new columns? First name, last name, gender, and country. I'm doing this now because we've run out of time. So I'm just hurriedly trying to create this. Create table. Let's call it new people. We have a first name. Let me see first. Last name, gender, and country. Okay. So first name, we can just give it a variable character. Say 50. Last name can still be the same thing. Control C. Gender can be 10. Let's put this 10. And then for country, we can have 50. That's still fine. So we close this. Then let's create and select from new people. So let's select from the table and see if we're okay. So now selecting from the table, we can see that the table is empty. The rows have been created, the columns have been created, first name, last name, gender, and country. So what we're going to do now is we're now going to copy the cleaning that we did, which is this. Okay. And then we are going to insert directly into the new people table. Now, for us to do that, we use the insert keyword. Now we are inserting into a table, and the table name of the table is new people. New people. Now, rather than using values, we are going to use the select statement. So I'll just paste the select statement that we did in cleaning the people table. I want to believe everything here is in order. Oh, I'm using my SQL. Let's use Postgres. I think that's what we're using. This should be. So let's run. Let me see. Oh, okay. I've seen something. Yes, select. So let's run again and select from new people. Oh, DF. This should be from people. From people, because we are selecting from this table, from the first table. I hope everything is in order. Why are we not getting the result? So what's the issue? Okay, finally. So we can now see. Can you? Apologies. Let me reconnect. Okay, so apologies for that. So still not showing. Okay. So we have succeeded in inserting after transformation. So after transformation, we have succeeded in going from why is this disconnect? Can you see my screen? Hold on, please. I think this should stop. Taking precedence. Shoot. Oh, what is this? Please, give me a few minutes. I'm trying to reconnect this. Just while we're at it, I think I saw Miss Oma, could you please send in the attendance link, please? While I work on this. Okay, I'm sorry about that. So, as I was saying earlier, we have been able to, now previously I had to create the table and insert the values which we cleaned in this workbook. So now, after the transformation, we have succeeded in inserting the transformed data to a new table, which we called new people. So after transforming the initial data set, we now have the clean transformed data set in a new table called the new people. So from there, we have been able to select everything from the new people table, and it has given us the results of our transformation, which is this. That's the first name, last name, gender, and country. And that is actually how we move data in our pipelines. Most times it's moving from one table to the other. And that's why it's very important that we understand how to move data from one table to the other, because it's in moving it that we get to do the cleaning, and then after that we get to the storage part. Now this is just the transformation stage. At the end of this, we have just ended up transforming this data to a clean and usable data set. Now the next stage would be to now move from this data set, from this clean data set, we'll now move it to a format where it is okay for analysis and for machine learning and for whichever use case that we need it for. So after this stage, the next stage is now moving it to a storage, a place where we're going to store it. And the storage is either in our data warehouse or a data lake house, or whichever place is the storage location that we use in our organization or for our personal use. So that's the next stage. And it is in that stage that we have to understand where the schema types now, which we discussed. Yes, we discussed it somehow last week. And that's talking about the star and snowflake schema. It's when we now talk of data warehouses that we now understand what we need. Hello. Okay, sorry. Sorry, I've been struggling with my network. Apologies, please. So we'll be ending here today. Let's see. Have you written? Has your attendance been sent, Miss Summer? It's not on the call again.
And
Steve.
no, the attendance has not been sent.
Steve. Oh, okay, sorry. Let me.
Yeah, Ogochukwu.
The attendance, was it sent?
Attendance?
Yes.
No. I thought you normally send the attendance.
Oh, I
Huh?
asked Miss Summer to send it.
Did you
Let me
send
see.
him?
Okay, let me just find it.
Okay.
No, I asked Miss Summer to send it in the call. So let me search and send the attendance link.
Okay, let me check the. No, I don't see any link for attendance in the chat. It's not here.
So while we're looking for that, does anyone have any question?
Hello, Ogochukwu. Good evening.
Yeah, I'm here.
Thank you so much for the class. I want to ask, after the data analysis in Python, can we progress into the professional data analysis in Python, or we just go to a different track altogether?
It's actually left. You can. It's not left to you. In our sessions there, we're just concentrating on SQL and Python. So after you're done, you can go ahead with any course of your choice.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So I actually did forget this. I want to add again. Now, I believe we all know that I think the probation period has ended. Because the scholarship was given in April, in February, if I'm not mistaken. Right? Someone should correct me if I'm wrong. I think it should be third week of
You're correct.
February. I can't be exact now, but I think around third week of February, and it's the 2 months probation. Now, I want to believe that we also remember the requirements now, which are first off completing at least two projects, then earning a minimum of 10,000 XPs. We also have 50% attendance to breakout sessions, and can I remember the last one? Okay, these are the ones I can remember right now. So I just want to appeal and let me know, is there anyone here that has not fulfilled any of this, that is lacking in any of these requirements that I mentioned?
Yes, I couldn't do the assignment. I was away at home, so I couldn't do it. The recent one.
Okay. So
Yeah, it's only that one, but I've attended everything else and I've done everything else.
okay, so that's fine. Now for the 2 months probation, we're giving out four projects. So if you work on two, you're actually on the safe side. Now we have two already on DataCamp, and we have two external. The second one ought to come in today. That ought to be given today, but I can't. Okay, we'll have to communicate on Discord when that one is ready. But that should be coming out today, this evening, or latest tomorrow. When it's ready, we'll send message across on on Discord. So please also look out for that. Then aside that, we have 2 projects already on DataCamp. So if you have completed those 2 projects, you're actually on the safe side in terms of this probation period. Then we also have one external that we have given out earlier, and about 15 persons did that. So those persons, you are actually safe when talking of projects. So I just want to appeal, if there's anybody that is lacking or you are yet to meet any of this, please try as much as possible to do that. At least focus on ensuring that you meet up with the requirements for the probation period and scale through. Then after that, we will be certain that you have your 6 months complete and nobody is going to rescind any scholarship that has already been given to you. I mean, DataCamp is a very, very wonderful platform, as has been testified by most persons and also myself. And I know we've all been enjoying the platform because the videos are kind of straightforward and very short. So it goes straight to the point in explaining these concepts and making them seem easy for each and every one of us. And I know, I'm certain that nobody here would like to lose this opportunity. So if you're here and you're yet to meet all the requirements, please ensure that in the next 1 week, at least before the month ends, ensure that before the month end, if there is going to be any grace period, it will be till month end. So please ensure that before the month end, you have met all stated requirements for the probation period, so we do not have any issues after April. But if you do have, please, we have our TAs here. You have them on Discord. You can reach out to any of us and we'll provide the assistance that we know we can provide to anybody. Clinton, let's hear you before we go, please.
Yes, thank you, ma. For those of us that have used DataCamp in the past and have SPs already, because I heard you saying one of the requirements was to have up to 10,000 SP. Me now, I have almost 70,000 SP, over 60,000 on DataCamp. So how do you know if I've gained 10,000 SP or not?
That is, I think everyone can even check that, because if you go on your leaderboard, you can check in the last 30 days how many XPs you already have, right?
All right.
I'm correct now, right, Clinton?
I'm not really sure.
Did you hear me?
Yes, I heard you. Let me
Okay, so if you actually check generally now, if you check on the leaderboard, you can filter it to either 30, 60, or 90 days. And within that number of days, you see the XPs you've already gotten. 60 days is 2 months. If you have 10,000 XPs in 2 months, I mean, you've already scaled through. That one is not that difficult to ascertain. You can also check that on your own account to see how many XPs you've gotten within either 30, 60, or 90 days. So that's not really much of an issue for us.
Okay, for the leaderboard, sorry, I don't know if
Yes.
I'm wrong, because I'm only seeing filter for 30 days, 90 days. I'm not seeing 60 days.
Okay.
Just 30, 90 past year all time.
Let me see. Okay. Where is my distance? Okay, this is for the general. Okay, yeah. 30, 90 past year and all time. We can actually get that from the back end. Now we can we have the ability to filter based on a certain period, which I can see is not available generally. So but you can use 30 days to at least ascertain how many XPs you've gotten. Now, if the courses we are doing right now, if you have done them previously, and because it's assigned to you, you cannot get the XPs back. You can, I think Steve mentioned this last week or so, you can go for other courses, other related courses on DataCamp. There are so many courses there. Like if you start searching, you will see so many SQL courses that are very, very important for us as learners and in our day-to-day jobs. So if the ones that is being assigned, if you've done that before, you can check out for similar courses, study and get your XPs. But with 30 days at least, and you know your personal performance, you can ascertain how many XPs you already have in 60 days. I believe so. Eh?
Yes, thank you. I've seen mine.
All right. Okay, thank you. So let's go. Okay, so if that's all, Steve, Nchedo, do we have any other thing left?
Okay, for me, no. I just wanted to say thank you for the class. It was a very detailed class. Network will always be a problem, but thank you. And next week we'll be covering next week will be from me. So we'll be covering query improvements in Postgres and all of that. And I will send the assignments once we are done for the next week. I don't even. Okay, we will talk about the assignments, Ogochukwu. Then for the assessments we do on the platform, it will also be sent either today or tomorrow. So everybody should take note. We'll update on Discord about the assessment. So when we do, you can log in with your credentials and check the assessment and answer the questions. So that's all for me.
Thank you very much, Steve. So you guys should get ready. So we'll be looking at optimizing our queries next week. Nice. Nchedo, do we have any other thing, or can we call it a day?
No, we can call it again. Thanks for.
All right, thank you very much. So from my end, I want to say thank you all for joining. Thank you for your patience.
Sorry.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
So
please go ahead.
I was checking the recording for last week and I saw that it was 6 hours long. And the reason for that was because somebody was still here till like 6 hours for like 6 hours range. So everybody should try to log out, like leave the call so that the recording doesn't take that long, please. Because I was surprised. Did we have 6 hour session last week? And I checked, there was one bro just chilling in the background throughout from like 3 hours till the end. So everybody should try to log out. Thank you.
Okay, so I didn't. So that was actually an error also on my part. I think after the call, instead of ending it, I just left immediately. So please, let's take notes. After the call, let's all leave so it can actually end automatically. Then I believe that should be all. I want to say thank you all for your participation. For those who gave their persons who actually gave us a bit of their knowledge this evening, we say thank you for your patience up till this time. Thank you, and we truly apologize. We are trying our best not to exceed 8 p.m. and hopefully next week we're not going to exceed that. So we apologize for taking more of your time as planned, and thank you for joining and thank you for your patience. So from our end here is good night and enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you.